I'm back from vacation. So, let's talk about a popular Pokemon fan game. Cue the intro!
How are you hitting me?
Oh my god! The original Pokemon games were released in 1998. And in the mainland games, we've seen 10-year-olds go out, adventure their respective regions, and become the champion. Since then, we've seen perspectives of the Pokemon themselves in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, released in 2005, and we've also seen the perspective of something called a Pokemon Ranger from the Pokemon Ranger game franchise, released in 2006. For as long as I can remember, there's always been Pokemon ROM hacks, where you can emulate Pokemon games on the PC. Even more recently, there have been Pokemon fan games, such as Pokemon Insurgence, Pokemon Uranium, and Pokemon Infinite Fusions. Recently, a newer Pokemon fan game has been hitting the center stage for quite a while now. Pokemon This Gym of Mine. You get to see a completely different perspective compared to any other fan game out there. The game starts and we gotta pick our Pokemon Gym speciality. In Pokemon, each gym has a type speciality, and there are 18 different types. So on pen and paper, this would be extremely difficult. In reality, it isn't, because they have a Pokemon type based off of lightning. It's called the electric type. So it's a dead giveaway of what gym I'm going to be playing, since I am Krims Lightning. We got 3 options: a Pichu, a Shinx, and a Joltik. I didn't go for Shinx or Pichu because, as of my knowledge, as of selecting them, they're only pure electric types, while Joltik is an electric bug type, which gives us a little bit more variation between this gym. We get off this boat where we meet this really old guy who's apparently the mayor. We find out that apparently the last gym leader before us apparently ditched the town and everyone hates gym leaders, and now a gang has apparently taken residency in the town. But what I don't understand is that if they're not hurting anyone, then why is it such a big deal? Can somebody explain that to me? We meet up at the gym that we are going to be running, and apparently we have these 2 kids working for us. I don't know if there are child labor laws in the Pokemon world, but let's just ignore that fact. In order to begin operating, we need 3 Pokemon. Currently, we only have Joltik. So we need to find 2 more Pokemon, or we can't become an official gym. Luckily, we are told that we can use up to 2 non-electric type Pokemon, but there's one condition. They must be able to learn a move called Thunderbolt. I can do that. After about 10 minutes of searching, we found an Elekid. Elekid evolves into Electivire, which is really powerful, so we caught it. Since I had 2 Pokemon, I decided to move on to Craggy Path. I hope that we were able to find more electric type Pokemon in this area, because I felt like the one electric type Pokemon that we were searching for after 10 minutes was the only one in that area. While searching for an NXT member, we found a Onix, but this was no ordinary Onix. This was a custom form Onix, which was a fire and rock type. Now, I know there's custom forms in this game, and that's really cool. So we move on and then find this cave called Cast Iron Cavern. Damn, that's a mouthful. I'm assuming that this is going to be the home of Magnemite, because that's all I'm finding in this cave. Luckily, Magnemite is an electric steel type, which gives us more type variations and our 3rd Pokemon. We begin our first day as a gym leader, and we just plow through the first trainers that challenged us. The next day we did some quick exploring. I was curious of how much the buildings would cost, and yeah, that's way too expensive for my blood. Maybe I'll build it another time. We then bolted through the next 2 days like it was nothing. And then my game crashed, which was a minor setback. That did mean I had to play through 3 hours of the game again, but it was no big deal. I got everyone to the same point with one exception. Elekid is no longer in our party at this point. Instead, I had to replace him with a Ghastly, because I'm guessing Elekid is only a daytime encounter, and at that point it was nighttime in the game. So let's just say that Elekid died and is now a Ghastly. We discovered this cave, and according to the guy outside the cave, there were a bunch of these riddles in the cave that he doesn't understand. He says if I'm able to solve all of them correctly, then he'll join my gym. The first riddle says, if 5 equals 649 and 1 equals 151, then what does 2 equal? Since I'm obviously a Pokemon master, I can definitely answer this. Knowing that Generation 1 consists of 151 different Pokemon, I knew 1 equaled 151 because it kind of lines up. Not knowing if Gen 5 had 649 Pokemon, I did a quick Google search and found out it did, which is great because that means each number correlates to a region. I've played a Johto game in the past, in particular Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I know that Gen 2 only added 100 Pokemon, so I guessed 251 and was correct. Since all of these questions are based off of Pokemon mainline games, I'm obviously going to get them all correct. Once I got out of this cave, I found a cabin in the middle of a meadow. This random old lady lived inside of it and asked me what my favorite number was. She then asked me something about leaves, water, and fire. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I'm such a competitive swimmer. Cut to my last swim meet. She then gave me an Oshawott, and I realized that she was asking about regions and Pokemon types, and I do not know how that did not click. This is a pretty easy job. During my training sequence of beating gym challengers, Ghastly evolved into a Haunter, which is really good. We unlocked the commercial district where we unlocked the ability to have brand new items. I had a feeling that the trainers were going to get a lot difficult, so I decided to do what any other person would do. Level up everyone to level 30. Thank God I did. And then I got kidnapped. Like, how the hell did they manage to kidnap somebody who is 5'8" and is 185 pounds of pure muscle? And then I realized one thing. This little dude probably isn't 185 pounds. I'm not even 185 pounds of pure muscle. What am I talking about? Don't worry, I got a direct hotline to the police. What do you mean this is not an emergency? I've been kidnapped and I'm trapped in a cave. After about 30 minutes of trying to escape, I finally got out. It took me so long because I had the team I was training up because I recently had caught a new Pokemon that I didn't want to reveal yet. Since I've been kidnapped, Magnemite's now Magneton and is 10 levels higher than everyone else, but that's okay. The surprise was that I found a new Elekid who fairly recently just evolved into an Electabuzz. The mayor then finds us randomly saying how he was so worried about us. If you were so worried about me, then why don't the police answer the phone? We were then given an option to go on vacation. First, I went to a snowy area, which I didn't find anything useful in. Then I went to, the best way to describe is a muddy industrial area, which also didn't really have anything useful in. And then I went to Breezy Town. In Breezy Town, I found a Luxray, which is a custom form. I'll throw up on screen what Luxray usually looks like. Next, we found an Alolan Geodude, which will be perfect for the team. I saved the game, and I called it a day. This was probably the biggest mistake I made. I come back and I attempt to leave this area. In order to leave the area, you just go to the inn and you say, hey, I want to spend the night, and it says, oh, you spent the night and you don't have any days left, let's send you home. That did not happen to me. So I was permanently stuck in Breezy Town. I checked if whiting out could work. I checked if my gym trainers that came along with me were still here, and they weren't. I was permanently stuck in this spot. I tried asking the subreddit, and it's been about 2 weeks since I've last touched the game, and I've gotten no response. The only response I technically did get was, hey, can you be a little bit more specific? I wanted to figure out if I could find a solution to this. Since I cannot continue on, I'm going to be discussing what I think about this game from where I've gotten to. Since I cannot progress, I want to talk about my progression through the game and what my thoughts are about it, because this is a really fun game, but there are a lot of flaws. The first issue I have is that I would have liked it so that there was an opportunity that you can make your own gym puzzle. It would be a fun little mini game at the beginning of the game to be an attention grabber, because for me at least, in my personal opinion, there's not really an attention grabber in this game. If you're someone who heard about this game and is a huge fan of Pokemon, you'll have no problem jumping right into this game. The beginning just felt bland and unrefined, and I feel like this little mini game would push it up a level. And as you ranked up, you got the option to improve your gym puzzle. It would also break the fact that this game is extremely repetitive. There were times where I was just going house to gym non-stop, and it was a drag. Another issue that I do have with this game are the Pokemon themselves. They need more accessibility to more Pokemon, in my personal opinion, because it feels very limited. I've been recording for about 35 minutes, mainly because I've been stuttering, but the fact that I was able to record for this long on only 30% of a game is extraordinary. And who knows, maybe I'll play the other 70% in the future. But until then, roll the outro card. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. If you want to watch a video on the left, I spent a week playing exclusively on the 3DS, and I think that would be perfect for you. Hey, and if you want to subscribe, click the button on the right. Have a good one. Peace.